Hola, I'm Hannah from Speak Better Spanish. I'm here to help you stop overthinking Spanish and actually speak it.
If you've ever understood a full conversation in Spanish, but then completely frozen when it was your turn to speak, this video is going to explain exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because this is one of the most common frustrations I see with adult Spanish learners. You're not a beginner, you've put in the time, you've studied, you can follow along in conversations, podcasts, or videos, but when it's your turn to talk, everything disappears. So, first, let's talk about what's actually going on. Most learners assume the problem is I don't know enough vocabulary or my grammar isn't strong enough. So they respond by doing more of the same, more apps, more flashcards, more grammar exercises. But here's the issue. There's two types of language skills. Passive skills like listening and reading, and active skills like speaking and writing. And most learners spend about 80 to 90% of their time on passive skills. So naturally, they get really good at understanding Spanish, but speaking feels impossible. Let me give you a real example. If someone asks you, ¿Qué hiciste este fin de semana? You probably understand that question, but when you try to answer it, your brain might start doing a few things at once. You might try to translate from English, remember vocabulary, build a sentence, and say it out loud all in real time. That's a completely different skill. And if you haven't practiced it consistently, your brain just may not be trained for that yet. So, what happens? You may freeze, you may hesitate, you may second guess yourself. And then you may either say something very simple or nothing at all. And it's not because you're bad at Spanish, it's because you haven't trained the speaking skills specifically. So, speaking requires three things. First, recall, being able to access vocabulary quickly. Secondly, sentence building, putting words together naturally. And third, confidence under pressure. And none of those improve just by studying, they improve by speaking. Now, here's the mistake I see all the time. People say, I just need to learn a little more before I start speaking. But that moment never comes because fluency doesn't come from knowing more, it comes from using what you already know. What actually works is consistently speaking in practice, real life conversation scenarios, and feedback so you don't reinforce mistakes. This is exactly what we focus on with our students here at Speak Better Spanish. Once they shift from passive learning to structured speaking practice, their progress speeds up a lot. So, if you've been stuck in that phase where you understand but you can't speak, the solution is not necessarily more studying. It's a different type of practice. If you want, you can book a free roadmap session with me, and I'll help you figure out exactly where to focus based on your level. And if you're not ready for that yet, I share tips like this every week in my newsletter. Either way, you don't need more information, you need the right approach.